So this right here is obviously my 1985 El Camino. Let's take a look at everything. Up front is a 2-inch cowl hood that I'm pretty sure I got off of Jegs somewhere 6 years ago, 8 years ago or so. I don't think it's possible to find a hood that fits perfectly. I struggled to get everything to fit right. This fender right here is aftermarket because the original one didn't have the corner light on it. This fender right here is all original and wasn't in good enough shape to the point where I could save it. So the gapping in that fender is actually not too bad, but even here, the hood is kind of bowed up, and the amount of work it would have taken to get the hood perfectly wasn't worth it in my opinion. This front bumper is a roll pan bumper off of eBay. It is just made of fiberglass, and so its fitment is honestly pretty good. I think I paid another $200 at the time. The grille and headlight bezels are aftermarket from OPGI. They are a lot lighter and a lot thinner than your original ones. Even across the front, you can see these little dimples up front. The Chevrolet badge is the original one. I like that it gives the car that original look. It's weathered, it's beat up, and it helps remind me what this car has all been through. Of course, I went ahead and slapped Z28 badges all over this car because obviously the El Camino Z28 did not exist. A lot of people see the Z28 badges and they think it's a performance car from the factory. I think it's even more rare, but I just think they look really cool. So I slapped them all over the car, and even in the wheels. The wheels are from an actual Z28 Camaro, and I took them to a performance shop to get them powder coated because they were pretty ugly before. So they got them all cleaned up, and of course I slapped the Z28 end caps on them as well. The original owner of this car called her Maria for its name, and I started calling her Frank or Frankie for Frankenstein because it's got such a mishmash of different parts to it. The mirrors are out of a Cutlass Supreme. The steering shaft is out of an Astro van. This door on this side is also aftermarket. Sail glass is out of a different El Camino. Steering wheel is out of a K5 Blazer. This tailgate is from a GMC Caballero. The back part of this molding is original. The front over there is from a Monte Carlo. I'm like, surely they'll all be the same in the front, but you can see the two different lines where the Monte Carlo one comes up and it squares off, whereas the El Camino one keeps that bend in the roof line. And this right here might be my favorite part on the whole car. It's just the rear bumper, also a roll pan from Lauren Engineering, but it incorporates the 1980s Corvette ZR taillights. So they do not make this pan anymore. Part number for these round taillights is the exact same as the Corvette. So if anything does crack on the lenses themselves, they are replaceable with the Corvette part number. Oh my God, look at all that dust. Just trying to get out some nature shots. So I sealed it to the body with a lot of fiberglass, the Bondo on top, and now it looks like it was made that way from the factory. And I think it turned out really, really well. I still have the trim for the bed at home, but it's black. And I think chrome looks a lot better on this old car. Painted it black because I thought black would be sweet, but I'm starting to like the chrome a lot more. So I have the rear moldings for the windshield and the bed, but they're the wrong color. And I think it kind of looks nice without it. To each their own. The motor itself is out of a 2003 Suburban, and it is drive-by-wire. I was told that the Suburban had 80,000 miles on it when the motor was pulled and it was running, but I have no proof of that other than word of mouth. Kept the mechanical fans because I feel like mechanical fans are more reliable than electric. Even if I would get a horsepower bonus from the electric fans, I think that mechanical is the way to go. The headers are from Speed Engineering headers, true 3-inch exit headers, and they sound pretty mean. The engine cover is from Special Ops Motorsports, and I can link that if you guys are interested. I think brand new they go for $160 in stainless steel, and then you can get it powder coated. Right there is that Astrovan steering shaft into my aftermarket steering box. The original steering box was leaking something fierce. With the HVAC system removed, I had to get this drip tray, also from eBay, and so that the wipers could rest on them, and it's not even resting right there. There it is. Front tires are 205/60R15s. The back ones are quite a bit larger at 225/60R15s, and of course the BF Goodrich radials. Of course, our Z28 center caps to complete the look. They're really dusty, but this is gunmetal gray powder coat. I became obsessed with the novelty of having an old car, so the manual regulators felt like it'd help my build feel more retro. The top door pad is from an 81 El Camino with manual regulators, and there you can see the hole where my power window switch would have been for my electric El Camino from 1985. Intellitronics sent me this gauge, and I know there's some mixed reviews with the gauges and what people think about them. I actually really like them. The whole digital aspect of it reminds me of Back to the Future and Back to the 80s, so I think they're really cool. I myself have never had a problem with these gauges. The old radio bezel was that pseudo fake wood, and it had a lot of holes in it and some crack in it. It was damaged. So this one's out of Monte Carlo. It fits differently. I had to get different bolts to make it work, but it's cleaner. Aftermarket radio, aftermarket USB, volt gauge, and charger. The controls for the heater core from Vintage Air. Panel is original. You can't get them with the fake wood anymore. I need to find my side, but that's all original. And this dash cap is from Dixie Restoration. The original dash, and almost any dash from the 80s, is gonna be completely nasty and destroyed and falling apart. So a dash cap was a reasonable solution for me, and it was only like 200 bucks. Another drop in the bucket. I do have some issues with fitment. It is, had some issues with gluing too. Everything is super tight to the point where I had to shave and sand a lot to get the dash to be able to clear everything. And then I still have to glue a couple pieces down. And there's the modified glove box. Basically cut it in half and plastic welded it back together so that I could fit the heater core and all the duct piping. That's where I stashed it, attached that block off plate on the other side. Right now it's pretty much just for feet, and I have to pull this whole dash assembly off and run the piping up to the actual vents to get true defrost. But it's supposed to be able to do feet and defrost. But with the kick panel where it is, I can't actually open up the blend door all the way. So I've still got some issues and some things that I need to figure out with the heater core. Right over in the kick panel was the original computer's location, and so I stuck the 5.3 computer in the same place. I had to cut off a lot of the inside panels to be able to make it work, but I think it looks pretty good. It sticks out a lot further than the original computer, but not so much to the point where it's ridiculous looking. Obviously, the interior is not fully put back together. It's not bad. The headliner is in great shape, but the sun visors have the same problem. Floppy and beat up. New dome light. The trim for the rest of the headliner is all rusted out and still needs to be cleaned up, and I'll probably get that powder coated too. Back behind the seats, and the smuggler's box. My aftermarket speakers. There's some sound deadening too. Otherwise, I've got like, of course, an amp. This guy is the original sales brochure for an El Camino. So I found the sales brochure on eBay, and I think it's really cool to keep with the car, just to see what it looked like brand new from the factory and how it was marketed. So I just keep that in the back as a little cool piece that I can throw out in car shows for people to look at. Let's get back to the garage, get the car lifted up, and we'll take a look underneath of it. Starting from the back is a stainless steel tank from Spectra. Inside the tank is an Aeromotive Stealth fuel pump, and I really like that. It's super quiet, and it's never let me down, so I guess I don't know what else to say about it. The fuel piping from the factory is soldered on or brazed on, so I had to remove the fill neck because the tanks don't come with fill necks. And then that right there, where you see that mess, is marine grade JB weld, and behind that is tank weld JB weld. So it looks pretty jank, I won't lie, but it has done the job perfectly because I don't have the ability to braze anything. Underneath here, you'll see my two airlines. This car used to have hijackers, or it had hijackers from the factory. They deleted those when they leaked and just put normal shocks on it. I then reinstalled hijackers later and had the same issue where over time they would just continue to leak. So these guys are Airlift 1000s, which are just airbags to help the rear from sagging something fierce, and they help with payload. They definitely add to your carrying ability, and they lift the rear up for that chopper kind of look to it. Airbags have not leaked on me at all, and I'm a big fan of them completely, compared to the old hijackers, which had a rough ride. The air nozzle is underneath the bag, through the frame, and then out to the gas cap like you saw. And I think I have about 20 PSI in them right now, so the ride's a little rough, but it keeps the back end jacked up for sweet looks. Full disc brake conversion from inline tube. They also sent me all of complete disc brake conversion put on here, and new brake lines from inline tube. So complete new brake lines for the whole vehicle, and then I just put a diff cover on it. KYB gas adjust shocks on all four corners to help with the rideability as well. Upper and lower rear control arms are still original, so I got to change those out. E-brakes were a little short, so I'm making them work just for now. And you might think they're not holding the vehicle, but they're doing really well so far. Right over there is my Corvette regulator. It is not the best. I know people have issues with them, but I think it's been good enough for me. And I've almost put 2,000 miles on it and countless idle hours, and it has not failed yet. Return fitting and the one up to the block, followed by two, oh my goodness, followed by two Thrush 2.5 mufflers that go into the 3-inch header. So there's a reducer up there, and then honestly it's loud enough, and I made the regrettable decision to point the exhaust tips down, which vibrates the cabin even more and gets super annoying on road trips. G-force transmission mount, that is the original turbo 350 transmission that I just had rebuilt because in a previous video with this thing, transmission actually blew up. The pump blew up, so I had to have the transmission rebuilt. So, brand new rebuilt transmission for $2,000 later, and we're back in business. There's the new torque converter and the 3-inch headers with flex pipe. They probably even leak a little bit, but I did not have the intermediate piece to go from muffler to header. And I do want to put a full exhaust system on this thing, but it's just not in the budget right now. But the headers by themselves are too freaking loud, and now I've come to regret even putting the thrush mufflers on. So I do have these manual exhaust cutouts. So I think my plan is to put these right before the new turbo back mufflers. That's just what they're called. I'm not putting a turbo system on this yet, but this thing will be getting some extremely quiet mufflers put on so that I can be both quiet and calm and obnoxious whenever I want. Underneath the driver's side floorboard, there you go, is the original pedal, but I have the plate for the drive-by-wire, and it's not going very well. It's just welded to the plate up there, so it works. It's not a beautiful fix, but it gets the car moving. Obviously there's some interior bits that need to be added and put on, but what do you guys want to see? Otherwise, we'll catch you in the next video.